This is a brunch pre-Oscars mini podcast. It contains spoilers, but we can't imagine you care if you haven't seen the movie and you're afraid of spoilers. Well, I'll say, if you haven't seen the movie, you've probably complained about this one. Joker!
Ha ha ha! Joker.
Wasn't that so easy? You just played the Joker.
Yep.
Let's give you an Oscar nomination.
Everybody going crazy, but you know what? The easiest role to play.
It is the easiest role to play.
Unless you're Jared Leto.
People just hate that guy. We've talked about that. He overdid it, right? He started sending people dog poop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can just jump right in. On the was this difficult to do scale, this is very low. This was a very easy movie to make, and most importantly, this was a very easy Oscar nomination to grab if you're Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is a very good actor. Mm-hmm. Joker, possibly the easiest role in the world to play. So you give a good actor,
but we let
Barry Bonds play T-ball, and he's gonna hit a double.
Yes and no, because he's playing the Joker is a very easy character to play, but playing the guy before he becomes the Joker is a little bit more complex.
Sure, and good for him. He did a great job. He did
a fantastic job.
It's so weird. He's going to win Best Actor. I don't want him to. I don't need him to. I didn't dislike this movie. I certainly didn't dislike his performance. Thought he was really good. I thought that this movie was good to really good. It falls outside of the should be nominated this year category for me, but that's certainly not a slight at this movie because there are so many movies that deserve a Best Picture nomination or even a Best Picture win that weren't nominated.
Yeah, even if they had expanded the category to 10, I don't know if I would have included this one.
No, Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, and this are... I finally got you to grin at The Irishman.
No, I mean, I laughed in the intro of the actual mini podcast that we did for it.
That was the most pronounced one I did.
The Irishman.
The Irishman. There were better movies than this year. I will say this garnered a lot of criticism before it came out by people who didn't see it, which welcome to 2019 when this came out back in the day. Everyone was so furious about this movie and what it said about men and male
Probably
rage.
The most controversial pre-release of any movie.
Oh, for sure. And the easy joke to make about this movie is, I saw Melissa Villaseñor, shout out her. I think she's really funny. Did a song about all the Oscar movies,
White Male Rage,
and it was white male rage, and that. I mean, he's a white male and he has rage, so I understand. But this movie, I don't know if there's anything socially you take out of it. It's not sympathetic to white guys. It's maybe it's sympathetic to the mentally unwell.
I would say if there's anybody that's sort of sympathetic to, it's people with mental illness.
With illness, yeah. And so I didn't see this movie as one to really tease and make fun of for this is just dudes looking after dudes. Yeah. No one wants someone to be like that.
Right. Yeah. And so the biggest controversy surrounding the pre-release was that it's going to sort of celebrate or, I don't know if I want to use the word excuse. That's exactly what I was just going to say. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to use that word, but it might excuse some of the behavior exhibited by a lot of the people who have carried out these massacres and these terrible things that have happened over the past 10 years and be like, well, here's why these people did these things. And a big word thrown around in the pre-release of this movie was incel.
Oh, right.
Where
I maintain.
White male rage because people aren't having sex with them.
We don't know that he wasn't stupping.
Right, exactly. And also, I think
Arthur is his name?
Arthur Fleck?
Arthur was probably getting irregular after those stand-up sets.
Yeah, they were real good.
Long line.
The ladies love a funny guy.
People just trying to shtup him.
So yeah, I mean, I thought that it was a very overblown after seeing the movie, and so the biggest thing for me was like, you can make movies about bad people, and you can make movies about these psychopaths and stuff, as long as you're not like
you're not
excusing or like
and not celebrating.
And I don't
no.
think that this movie did that at all. I think it tells the story of how that guy gets there without saying, well, like, this is why it's okay.
And what story are they gonna tell where they're like, oh, it's okay that he became this way, and like this is how he should have become after getting treated this way. I was like, I know this movie because no movie could do that. What movie am I going to watch and then come away being like, oh, naturally he was supposed to become someone who goes on TV and shoots people and does all of these awful things. I think that you can shine a light on people being treated poorly without saying, therefore, they have to become this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like, if you don't do it properly and if you don't spend like the adequate attention and care, then it can come away as if like you're celebrating this person and you're making them out to be like a hero for doing the violence that they carry out. But I think that in the movie, they do a good enough job of explaining why this guy ends up doing the things that he does, and also why other people end up rallying around him because of it, and why that gives him like the power to become the Joker. Like, that's all that this movie really needed to do, and I think that it did it well enough. I think that the writing wasn't spectacular.
Yeah,
it's very much a movie that's carried by Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was a great movie. I think it was a worse version of The King of Comedy. And I remember the thing that I liked about it from a Batman perspective was that it had a real old school Joker feel to it. And I've always preferred that because maybe that's the Joker that I saw as a kid, the one that's more likely to like take over the broadcast and like everyone's TVs are turning on and all this wacky stuff is going on and he's doing crazy thing like he's like pulling out a handgun on television. That's the Joker that I saw when I was a kid, even in cartoons and stuff like that. That's what I imagined the Joker to be. And then along the way, the Joker became this almost like flying dude who was just doing all this crazy stuff.
Like real, like over the top.
And there's different ways you can be over the top, right? There's the, you know that I like a flamboyant bad guy. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I always thought the Joker was. And Heath Ledger's Joker was certainly flamboyant, but I don't know, just like, there were a lot more airplanes involved with Heath Ledger and like hanging upside down and no, it was Airplane Bane.
Yes, yeah.
No survivors. Yeah,
yes. I don't recall him. The Joker hanging upside down either.
Yeah, like hanging out of windows and stuff like that. A lot of like Daredevil sort of stuff out of Heath Ledger's Joker, and I more preferred the Jack Nicholson. He looks really weird, Joker.
Okay.
And this more fell in line with that. Like this.
Then Jared Leto's Joker would have been right up your alley because he looked ridiculous.
Maybe. I don't like that in these movies that there's always an explanation for why something that we've seen explained 300 times happens. So Jack Nicholson's Joker is explained one way. He falls into... He basically has like an Alex Mack type origin story, right?
I think so. I don't know.
You know the secret world of Alex Mack?
Yes.
She gets some gasoline spilled on her, and then she takes over the world. Yeah. That's how Jack Nicholson's Joker began.
Yeah, I think there's like some sort of like acid or something involved with his...
Right. Something happens with his face. And this obviously has a different explanation for that. Every Batman thing explains how Thomas Wayne dies and how Bruce Wayne loses his mother and father.
And I thought they over-explained it in this one.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, I think that the scene of them like actually dying was so unnecessary.
And it was so corny.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy delivers the same line that the Joker had just delivered on television.
That's so lame.
Again, like there were it stinks. I feel that people should be able to say this movie wasn't amazing, but you have to see the movie and then have your reasons why. I really think it's
I thought it was
troublesome to criticize and
Absolutely.
label why something is bad or harmful without having seen it.
And that goes for fucking anything.
Yeah.
And it happens too much now. But I thought this movie was good. And I've seen a lot of complaints about it being like people watching it be like, well, I didn't like it because I thought it was so unpleasant and it was like I didn't enjoy myself. I was like, good, you should.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, this is really going for as unpleasant as possible.
And it should. Like, I think that if you're going to tell the story...
if it's going to be a gripping origin story of
Right.
the worst guy, then you're probably not going to be doing like pizza rolls during it, you know?
Right, yeah. And like, especially if you're going to present it in a way that's like gritty, which this was clearly gritty from the very beginning, the very first look that we got at it. Like, if you're going that route, it has to be unpleasant. And I've compared it to Uncut Gems a lot because the experience of it is very much like the same to me because I didn't enjoy watching Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems was super uncomfortable. I had anxiety the entire time, and it was like I was stressed to the fucking heavens start to beginning. And
Word.
it was also very much carried.
It's a rough title sequence.
Yeah, and
You said start to beginning.
Start to beginning. Yes, very.
I heard you sell diamonds.
I hear you like colonoscopies.
Yeah.
No, it was very stressful, and it's also a movie that's carried by a strong performance of the lead actor.
I hear you like comedy. We should have come up with like
a title sequence for every Best Picture where that doesn't have anything to do with
Let's bang it out right now. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I hear there's a twist.
Let's go with 1917. I hear.
I hear gunshots.
No, I heard there's an ambush.
Right. Let's see. Marriage Story. I could drive a person crazy. You know that one?
No.
You could drive a person crazy.
I would go with...
I heard you stopped the person from the theater company.
That one works. I was going to say, I could have fucked anybody in my 20s. I was hot shit in my 20s.
I heard the joke about the woman going to Italy. You know the joke that Alan Alda tells?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Bert, but am I paying for this joke?
Oh, my God.
What else is there?
Jojo Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit. Uh-oh.
It's definitely not a good time to be a Nazi.
That classic line from that kid.
And there's Little
Ford
Women.
versus Ferrari. I heard you're a
Rough around the edges.
Brit.
Little Women. I heard Bob Odenkirk is in this movie.
There it is.
Nice.
Joker.